I saw this quote: "Life doesn't happen to you, life happens for you." That's pretty condescending. It's not the right interpretation of that at all. Happening for you. It's to imply that good things happen to you or bad things happen to you at the right moments in time, so things play out exactly how they should. It's wishful thinking is one thing, so it's nice that people do have um, a hint of optimism in their life, and that's how they. You could tell their perspective is why they're saying that, but it's very condescending. Life just happens. That's what it is. Life just happens. It happened before you. It's happening right now. It's going to happen after you're gone. You just have a sensory experience to all this happening around you. You are interpreting everything in this short blip of time you have on this planet, and you're adapting to life. It's not happening for you. It's not happening to you. It's just happening. You to say that good experiences or bad experiences happen at the right moments in time like that, that's complete dog shit. That's not true at all. You can actively choose to make bad choices to have things not work out for you. Sometimes you just get lucky. Sometimes you seize opportunities when they come your way and you know that's what's happening. Sometimes things just fall into place, but that it's not happening for you. You're through your experience, through your sensory experience, using your mind, as your body grows, as you collect more information and time throughout the entire time you've been alive, you're adapting to the life happening around you. You're adapting to all of that. You're taking everything in, and you're building this perspective in your mind, this concept of what is, and you're using that and the tools you've gathered over time through life experience to make choices. It's just a series of choices that you're making, and things will pass you by if you don't take action. Sometimes you can take too much action or take the wrong action and fuck yourself up. The adaptation is the experience you encounter throughout life, through the pitfalls or the good things that happen to you, and being able to really look into the what's and whys of the situation, and then you better make choices, and you're able to recognize things as they come your way more so than you were able to in the past when you were more adolescent. And that's life's just happening. I understand the wishful thinking, saying it's happening for you, but no, that's not what it is. It's just happening. You can choose to make it a bad life. Lots of people do that. Lots of people actively make choices to make their life fucking terrible, and they blame everyone except themselves, and they don't change their behavior to allow different outcomes, or they exhibit such bad behavior that they are oblivious to over time, to where they create such an insurmountable hole to climb out of that they never do. But it's not happening. It's not happening for you. You're happy. It's just happening, and you can choose what you want to make of that. But that's all on you. Now, some people have different hands they're dealt in life. That's absolutely true. Not everyone has the same starting point. Not everyone has the same outcomes, even if they do have the same starting point, or even if they start ahead of someone, they might not have the same great outcomes as someone, even though equal efforts could be put in. There's things like that exist out there. Sometimes people work harder than other people, and they don't get the same outcomes as people that fuck around and do less, simply because of just status in life or luck of the draw, things like that. And those are experiences people collect, and they gather information on that of what to do differently in the future, and adapt accordingly. Well, hopefully they do, to set themselves up to seize opportunities as they come by later on. A lot of people get discouraged and they don't do that. People are very quick to criticize, but those people are also the quickest to quit. Being a quitter is like the most readily available option anyone could choose to do. It's the easiest thing to do. Something doesn't go your way, you fuck up, you're not immediately good at something, things are harder than you thought they'd be, whatever the dilemma is. People encounter these struggles and they say, whoa, what the fuck, this isn't supposed to happen, because they think that things just fall into place for them, because they think life happens for them. It's not true. You actively put energy into things, and things are hard work, and you put the hard work in and enjoy the process of doing so, because that builds your character. And if good things happen, that's great. You're you're definitely putting your effort in a direction where good things could happen. Sometimes they don't, though, and that's just life happening. You life is just your life, your subjective version of your life. It feels like it's passing by a lot faster than you anticipated, because when you were born, your only perspective of time, just the idea of time, is that short period of time you've been alive, 0 to 1. You're a kid, like let's say you're 10 years old. It's like, okay, well, your entire concept of what time is between 0 and 10. That's not a lot of time so far, so it feels like time's taking forever because you haven't experienced a collective amount of time yet. As you get older, weeks, months pass by. It feels like so much quicker because your entire allotment of time that you've consumed by being alive is not like I'm going to be 30 this year. It'll be 30 years of time. I'm sure time will go by even faster when I'm 60. It'll keep happening. Because your perspective makes everything, and a perspective, some perspectives you can't control are things like time passing by, because you're experiencing it, and then as you experience more of it, now it feels like it's flying by because your entirety of your collection of the time in your life it's a lot bigger library than someone who's half your age. And people will continue to go down their lives and have the time start passing by quicker, or it's not actually passing by quicker, but your feeling of the time passing feels like it's passing so much quicker. So people have that, and they get dragged down by the monotony of life. And then they just choose not to do anything. And then the time flies by and they haven't done anything. And then they go, what the fuck? I feel cheated. Like, this is bullshit. And they get angry and fucking mad at everyone. And they didn't find anything to find personal fulfillment and enjoyment out of. And then the time's gone now and they feel cheated. The life is just happening. What you choose to make of the life happening is up to you. It is, and people don't want to accept that. It's always someone else's problem. It's the government. It's your city officials. It's the police. Like, sometimes the police, like whatever world event or thing in the local news, or whoever the fuck your friends are that you don't like. It's always someone else. The reason why your life sucks. Your boss, and it's always that with people, and they don't take radical responsibility for themselves, because that's where the actual improvement happens. And the truth is, they don't want to improve. They like the idea of improving, but they don't like the work that improving requires. The work that improving requires is so much, there's so much more that entails into that, instead of just the idea of, oh my God, things all worked out for me. It's like, well, things work out because you make them work out through hard fucking work. People don't want to do that. It's like everyone likes the idea of being rich, or I bodybuild. Everyone likes the idea of being jacked and in shape, and no one wants to go to the fucking gym. You see what I mean here? They like the idea of something, but they're never going to put in the fucking work. And you could take that and look inward. They're not going to put the work into themselves. The one relationship you have from birth to death is with yourself. And people have terrible relationships with themselves. They definitely don't like how they're feeling, but they don't want to put in the work to be any different because they're used to feeling terrible. I used to be like that. That's where they come up with things like life happens for you, or life happens to you. It's two terrible perspectives. It's just happening. You look at yourself, and then find what you're able to control and change in your life, and you're going to find out that the more things you change for the better that you do have control over, the more things you don't have control over change for the better as well.